Every single item in your suitcase is legal. You bought it at a store, your doctor prescribed it, you've packed it 100 times, and none of that matters the second you land in another country. International Customs doesn't care what's legal in America. They have their own rules, and in 2026, they are enforcing them harder than ever. I'm about to show you 20 items that Americans pack every single trip, items that are perfectly legal at home, that will get confiscated, fined, or get you detained the moment you step off that plane. Item number 5 has gotten Americans locked up for over 2 weeks. This right here might be the most dangerous thing in your suitcase. And it's not a weapon, it's not a liquid, it's your pill organizer. Here's what happens. You dump your blood pressure pills, your cholesterol meds, your sleep medication into one of these organizers because it's easier. No labels, no bottles, no paperwork. In America, TSA doesn't love it, but they'll let it through. At International Customs, you just created a problem. In dozens of countries, Singapore, Japan, the UAE, China, carrying unidentified pills is grounds for detention. Not a warning, not a fine, detention. They will hold you until they can laboratory test every single pill in that organizer. And that process, it can take hours or days. Starting with one that trips up travelers more than you'd expect. Toiletry aerosols like hairspray, shaving cream, and spray deodorant are allowed in your checked bag, but industrial or household aerosols, banned completely. We're talking about spray paint, WD-40, cooking spray, compressed air dusters, and anything with a flammable propellant that isn't a personal care product. TSA knows the difference between Gillette Foamy and Rust-Oleum. If the scanner picks up a non-toiletry aerosol can, your bag gets pulled, opened, and searched. The item gets confiscated, and your bag often ends up delayed. There's an important difference between safety matches and strike-anywhere matches. Safety matches need the special strip on the box to ignite. One book of safety matches is allowed on your person when you fly. Strike-anywhere matches can ignite from friction alone, which means the inside of a suitcase bouncing around in a cargo hold is the perfect environment for them to light up. Strike-anywhere matches are completely banned. Carry-on, checked bag, doesn't matter. They cannot go on the plane in any form. If you've got camping gear or an emergency kit that includes these, take them out before you fly. Don't ruin your entire trip over a 50-cent box of matches. Hikers and outdoor travelers, this one is specifically for you. Bear spray contains concentrated capsaicin or tear gas compounds like CS and CN. If a canister leaks in the cargo hold, it doesn't just affect your suitcase. It can incapacitate the baggage handlers on the ramp. Some airlines do allow a small 4-ounce personal pepper spray in checked luggage if it has a safety mechanism and you specifically declare it at check-in. But bear spray? Most airlines ban it entirely regardless of size, and the policies vary wildly between carriers, so even if one airline allowed it last time, the next one might not. My recommendation is simple. Don't try to fly with it. If you're heading to bear country, buy it when you arrive and leave it behind, or ship it home when you leave. It's not worth the risk of having your entire bag confiscated. Smokers and outdoor enthusiasts love these plasma arc lighters. They don't use fluid, they use a high-voltage lithium battery to create a purple electrical arc hotter than a flame. You think they're safe because they're flameless, but the TSA classifies them as dangerous arc devices. If the button gets pressed inside your checked bag by shifting luggage, that 1D100-degree arc ignites instantly. It will burn through your clothes and start a fire in the cargo hold. Because of this extreme risk, they are strictly banned from checked luggage. You can only bring one in your carry-on if it has a special safety latch. Without that latch, confiscated immediately. This is the fastest way to miss your flight and end up in an interrogation room. You might think packing a novelty perfume bottle shaped like a grenade or a funny dynamite alarm clock is a harmless joke. It's not. On an X-ray scanner, density is density. The machine sees the shape of a bomb and the wiring of a detonator. It cannot tell it's a toy. The moment an agent sees that outline, they don't open the bag to check. They shut down the checkpoint and call the bomb squad. Your toy will be destroyed, you will face massive fines, and you could be flagged as a security threat for years. Leave the replicas at home. Smart glasses like the Ray-Ban Metas are exploding in popularity, but wearing them through security is a rookie mistake. These aren't just sunglasses, they are cameras. While not banned from flight, they trigger massive suspicion at checkpoints. TSA agents and customs officers are strictly prohibited from being recorded in secure areas. If the recording light on your frames blinks while an agent is patting you down or checking your passport, you aren't just rude, you are a security risk. They can demand you delete the footage, seize the device for review, or pull you aside for a grueling secondary screening. Put them in the bin, powered off. Number 1 is the most confiscated item in airport history, the power bank. You toss it in your checked bag because it's heavy. Big mistake. Lithium-ion batteries are prone to thermal runaway, meaning they catch fire. If that happens in the cargo hold, the plane goes down. If it charges your phone without a wall outlet, it must go in your carry-on. And check the label. It must be under 100 watt-hours, or TSA will seize it right at the checkpoint. Ladies, listen up. Those fancy new cordless straighteners that run on butane cartridges? TSA hates them. The butane is a pressurized gas. If you put this in a checked bag, it is treated as a hazardous explosive. You can bring one in your carry-on, but it must have a safety cover over the heating element. If you pack a spare butane refill, confiscate it immediately, no exceptions. Seniors love these for cold flights, but they are a trap. The vest itself is just fabric, but the battery pack inside is pure lithium. I see people fold the vest and check it, forgetting the battery is still zipped in the pocket. You can check the vest, but you must unplug and remove the battery and carry it with you in the cabin. Do not leave it connected. So, if you bought a suitcase with a built-in charger or GPS tracker, you really need to be careful. If that battery doesn't pop out, then, well, that bag is not flying. Airlines are stricter than ever about non-removable batteries in 2026. You must be able to eject the battery with just one finger. And if you're forced to gate check your carry-on, you have to rip that battery out before handing it over. If it's stuck, the bag stays behind. These are super popular for anyone with arthritis or poor circulation. But, unlike the old shake-to-activate packets, the electric ones are actually high-density batteries. You need to treat these exactly like a cell phone. They live in your carry-on. Never, ever check them. Now, let's talk about medical gear. Your CPAP machine is expensive, so you carry it on. But what about the spare battery for the flight? Spare medical batteries often exceed the normal size limits. You are allowed to bring them, but they must be in your carry-on and protected from short-circuiting. Use electrical tape over the terminals or keep them in their original box. Never check a loose medical battery. If you use old-school zinc air batteries with the sticker tabs, you can pack those anywhere. But the new rechargeable hearing aid cases? Those have lithium batteries inside the charging case itself. The hearing aids are in your ears, but the charger case must go in your carry-on, not your checked luggage. This is critical. You cannot check a battery-powered POC. The pressure changes in the cargo hold can affect the device, and the batteries are a fire risk. Bring it on board, and ensure you have enough battery life for 150% of the flight duration. Airlines require that buffer in case of delays. This is the most complex rule in travel. If you have a collapsible electric scooter or wheelchair, you cannot just fold it and hand it to the baggage handler. You usually need to disconnect the battery and bring the battery into the cabin with you. The frame goes under. The power source stays with you. Check with your airline 48 hours in advance. Just like the CPAP, the tabletop plug-in nebulizers are fine in checked bags. But the portable handheld ones with built-in batteries? Carry on only. If it has a battery you can't see, assume it's dangerous. This one isn't about fire, it's about panic. If your toothbrush turns on inside your checked bag, the vibration sets off alarms. Baggage handlers think it's an improvised explosive device. They will open your bag and tear it apart to find the noise. Tape the power button down or use a hard travel case. Don't let it buzz. Same logic here. A buzzing bag is a suspicious bag. Engage the travel lock if your razor has one. If not, put it in your carry-on so you can prove what it is if it starts making noise. You might think, I'll just read my Kindle at the hotel, so you check it. Don't. Tablets have large, flat batteries that are easily punctured if a heavy suitcase lands on top of them. A punctured battery means a fire. All screens stay in the cabin. It keeps them safe from theft and crushing. There is a huge rumor that Lufthansa and other airlines banned AirTags. They are allowed. The battery inside an AirTag contains only 0.3 grams of lithium. That is well below the danger threshold. You can keep them in your checked luggage to track your bags. They are safe. Finally, the laptop. Sometimes you have to check it because your carry-on is full. If you check it while it's in sleep mode, it can wake up, overheat, and ignite the clothes around it. If you absolutely must check a laptop, power it down completely. Not sleep. Not hibernate. Off. Packing these in the wrong bag isn't just a hassle. It's a safety risk that can cost you thousands in fines. But packing right is only half the battle. You also need to know the new 2026 passport rules that are grounding seniors before they even get to security. Click this video right here to make sure your ID is actually valid. Safe travel.
Meet Jerry Johnson. He's a grandfather, a truck driver. In 2020, Jerry flew to Phoenix with $39,000 in cash to buy a semi-truck at an auction. He checked his bag. He broke 0 laws, domestic flight, no drugs, no warrants, no criminal history whatsoever. When Jerry landed in Phoenix, police were waiting for him at baggage claim. They didn't arrest him. They didn't charge him with anything. They simply took his $39,000 in cash and walked away. It took Jerry 31 months and a federal lawsuit to get his own money back. Now, you're probably thinking, well, he was carrying way over $10,000, so that's why they took it. But here's the thing. That $10,000 rule you've heard about your entire life, it's not what you think it is. Today, I'm breaking down what the rule actually says, how law enforcement is using it against everyday travelers, the legal loophole that lets them take your money without ever charging you with a crime, and the exact words you need to say if you're ever stopped. Make sure you stick around for the part about the waiver, because if you ever sign one of those, you are done. Let's get into it. So let's start with the rule itself. The $10,000 reporting threshold only applies to international travel. When you enter or leave the United States, you are legally required to declare any amount of cash over $10,000 to U.S. Customs. That's it. That's the actual rule. Domestically, there is no limit. You can legally fly within the United States with $1,000, $10,000, $100,000, or even $1 million in cash. It is completely legal. There is no law that says you can't. But here's where it gets twisted. Let's say you heard about the $10,000 rule, and you thought, okay, I'll just carry $9,500 to stay safe and avoid any problems. Congratulations. You may have just committed a federal crime. It's called structuring. And it means intentionally keeping your cash under a reporting threshold to avoid detection. Even if you're flying domestically, where the threshold doesn't even apply, carrying an amount that looks like you're trying to stay under $10,000 can be flagged as suspicious. So think about this. Carrying $11,000 in cash, perfectly legal. Carrying $9,000 in cash, potentially suspicious. You literally cannot win if you don't understand how this system actually works. Now here's the part that made me genuinely uncomfortable. TSA agents are not police officers. They cannot arrest you. They cannot seize your cash. Their job is to screen for security threats. That's it. But what they can do is tip someone off. TSA agents are part of what's called a referral network. If a TSA agent sees a large amount of cash in your bag during the X-ray scan, they can alert law enforcement officers who are stationed at the airport. And it goes beyond TSA. Airline ticket counter employees have also been known to flag passengers, especially those who pay for tickets in cash or appear nervous. And here's the part that really got to me. In some cases, the DEA has paid out commissions to what they call confidential sources for providing tips about passengers carrying large amounts of cash. That's essentially a financial incentive for the person scanning your bag or checking your ticket to report you. Not because you've done anything illegal, but because you have cash. Let us know down in the comments how you feel about that, because I have a lot of thoughts and none of them are positive. This is the scariest part of the whole thing, and it's the reason Jerry Johnson lost his money for 31 months. It's called civil asset forfeiture, and it works like this. When law enforcement takes your cash at the airport, they don't charge you with a crime. They charge your money. I'm not exaggerating. The actual court case is not United States versus Jerry Johnson. It is literally United States versus $39,000 in U.S. currency. Your cash is the defendant. And unlike criminal court, where you are innocent until proven guilty, in civil forfeiture, your money is guilty until you prove it's innocent. That means you, the person who did nothing wrong, now have to hire a lawyer, go to court, and prove that your own cash wasn't connected to any illegal activity. The burden of proof is completely flipped, and most people either can't afford the legal fight or don't even know they have the right to challenge it. So, why would local police departments be so eager to seize your cash at the airport? Because they get to keep most of it. Under a federal program called equitable sharing, when local police partner with federal agencies on a seizure, the local department gets to keep up to 80% of whatever they took. And what are they spending it on? You might assume it goes toward fighting crime or community safety programs, but investigations have shown departments using seized funds to buy things like espresso machines, margarita makers, new SUVs, and even military-style tactical gear. This is what critics call policing for profit. Your vacation money is literally funding someone's department wish list. Okay, so what do you actually do if this happens to you? Let's say you're stopped at the airport.
How much cash are you carrying?
Here's the trap. If you lie and say, I don't have any cash, and they find it, you've just given them a reason to seize it because you lied.
I have $15,000.
You've also given them a reason to seize it because now it's flagged as suspicious. Either answer can be used against you. So here's what you say instead.
Officer, I do not consent to any searches. I am invoking my right to remain silent. Am I free to go?
That's it. You don't argue. You don't explain why you have the cash. And here is the most important part of this entire video. If they offer you a deal, something like, we'll give you back half your money right now if you just sign this waiver, do not sign it. That waiver is designed to prevent you from suing them later to get the rest of your money back. It is not a compromise. It is a trap. Never sign the waiver. So knowing all of this, here's what I'd recommend for anyone who needs to travel with a significant amount of cash. First, carry a paper trail, bank withdrawal receipts, a bill of sale, a letter from your attorney explaining the purpose of the funds. If you can prove where the money came from and where it's going, you are in a much stronger position. Second, know your rights before you fly. The Institute for Justice has free resources specifically about civil forfeiture and your rights at airports. I'll leave a link in the description. Third, never volunteer information about cash to anyone at the airport. Not the ticket agent, not the TSA officer, not the person next to you in line. Keep it to yourself. And fourth, consider alternatives. Wire transfers, cashier's checks, or even just using a bank at your destination can eliminate the risk entirely. Cash is legal, but in 2026, cash at an airport paints a target on your back. The airport is one of the only places in America where your property can be taken without you ever being accused of a crime. And the $10,000 rule that most people believe protects them, it doesn't even apply to domestic flights. Knowing how this system actually works is the difference between keeping your money and losing it for years. If you want to make sure you're fully prepared before your next flight, I have a full carry-on packing checklist that covers everything TSA allows and doesn't allow. I'll leave the link down in the description.